Karl Rahner, the German Jesuit, he said, we could drop the doctrine of the Trinity tomorrow, and 98% of Christian practice would remain untouched and unchanged. It's nothing but a theory, that none of us would think of disagreeing with, but in fact has had no pastoral, practical effect on the development of most Christianity. Much more in Orthodoxy, I'm happy to say, and much more in Catholicism than Protestantism. It got thinner the farther we got away, thinner and thinner. Cynthia Bourgeot, who was this Episcopal woman priest on our core faculty here, she likes to speak, the principle of two is always oppositional. Whenever you're dualistic, you have to compare. And you immediately choose one side to be higher, one side to be lower. The principle of three, she just approaches it, first of all, philosophically, is always dynamic. It keeps you flowing, it keeps you moving. Instead of choosing between two, you keep moving between three. The principle of the Trinity was made to order to defeat the dualistic mind, because it does not satisfy the dualistic mind. God is not one, God is not three. Rationality falls apart at that point. So the exciting thing, I think, is, of course, quantum physics, astrophysics, the nature of the atomic universe, the nature of galaxies. If what Genesis said is true, let us create in our image. What is going on there in the first chapters of Genesis? That the universe is created in the shape of God. That now we see everything is relational. That God is an event of communion. That God is relationality itself. That God is communion itself. That God is a flow. So you just got to let that undo the image of, apparently you see my daily meditations once in a while, the old man with a white beard sitting on a throne. It's gone. But the trouble is, it hasn't been gone. It remained in Christian art, perhaps still, most would, an old man with a white beard sitting on a throne. That's not Trinitarian theology, even if he is holding the crucified Jesus and the dove is above him. We tried to put it in art, but because we just didn't know how to picture flow, communion, relationship. St. Bonaventure, our Franciscan mystic, he called the Trinity the fountain fullness of love, like a water wheel, always outpouring one to the other in one direction. And so any notion, if you read Bonaventure's writings, there's nothing like you'll see centuries later of hellfire, brimstone, judgment, merit, damnation, atonement, punishment, wrath in God. It just saddens me. I actually listen to Christian music a lot when I'm driving, because a lot of the words are so beautiful for when I'm suffering anyway. But the part that isn't beautiful is how much the older ones, not the more recent ones, you love to use the word wrath. My God, it's in every other song, wrath. When you have a Trinitarian theology, there's no wrath in God. There's no room for wrath. It's a theological impossibility. You understand? It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. And we see that so much of our image of God was taken from the early tribal, primitive understanding of the old man with the beard, as it were, sitting on a throne. Never really undone by the revelation of Jesus as the Son of the Father, revealing the heart of the Father, and then giving us that presence in the indwelling Holy Spirit. That changes everything about the nature of God. So, I really hope we keep unpackaging the Trinity, because it will change Christianity radically.